We're down at Broadlands for a 24-hour. Fish just jumped out in front of me. Lovely. Bit of a social with Dad, so we've gone for 2 swims next to each other. But the wind's pushing up quite nicely, I'll show you in a second. So yeah, I think we're in a good spot. It is busy, but there's like patches of people. So people are in an area and then nothing. And then, so it does give you quite a few options. But we'll give it a go. It's coming up for about 11 o'clock now. I was out last night, so I had a bit of a lie-in. So Dad's just gone to get the car. We've got the little lakes behind us, so I've got my surface stuff, so I might give surface fishing a go later as well. So here's my swim, peg 57, and Dad's in 58. So obviously the biggest feature here will be that island, but I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket. I'll probably have one single off of that. People probably fish that a lot, so it probably only needs a single. There's bait there, the fish recognise that there'll be bait there. And then I might look for something just mid-water. Just play it a bit different, might put a zig out there or something. The wind's just pushing up from the back there into us, and a little bit up into this bay, inlet bay. It looks spot on. So as I said, got the overnighter, probably leave at about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, so 24 hours. I think we're in for some fish. Yeah, it looks good. Right, I'll get back to you when there's something to update. So when we got here, had a good look around, and at the island there's a really nice gravelly patch compared to everything else. It's like surrounded by silt. So what we're going to go for is the IQD rig, nice high attract almond hook bait, 2.5 ounce lead to get me out there. There's a leader band here, so I've just gone with a naked line with a couple of lumps of putty up the line. So I'll show you the spot that's going on to. That's what we're using, that's what should produce a bite. It'll be a single at the moment, not any bait over it. I imagine that spot out there or around the island has a lot of bait anyway. It's been quite busy obviously with the bank holiday weekend, and you know, there's a lot of people here at the moment anyway. So whack out a single, high attract, try and catch her attention. So I've got one rod fishing now that you saw me cast out, and that is over at the island. Dad's just popped up to the shop. He broke my baiting needle, so we need another one of those. So that rod's over at the island. I found a nice gravel spot actually. Most of the lake's quite silty, but I found a nice gravel spot. And where this tree is, it's just to the right of that. With the marker rod I could get about 1 and a bit pulls out of it, so it's probably a couple of foot, like 3 foot. So that's there. I've got the IQD rig on that with a nice bright pink wafter. So hopefully, if they're going around the island, it'll catch their attention. But I was also thinking it's just been Easter, so a long bank holiday. A lot of bait's probably gone in, so I don't need to put too much bait in. So with my other rod, with it being silty, I'm going to put it on a pop-up and just have it as a roving pop-up. The depth changes quite a bit through this open water to my right, so I think just a little yellow pop-up, or I might scale down and put an 11mm Scent from Hell white pop-up that I've got from Baitworks, and just keep moving it around, and yeah, hopefully sort of stumble across a fish. I think first off I'm going to use the rig and bait that I used in the session before when I was at the work party. So I had sort of my version of, well, the multi-rig mated with the hinge stiff rig. So we'll use that. The hook holds that I'm getting are really solid, and I'll just move that around every now and then just to try and find out where the fish are. If I start catching a couple of fish off the same spot, I can put some bait in. But you know, it's only an overnighter, so one fish is what we're going for. You know, targeting a fish at a time. So I'm just walking back to the car to grab a couple of bits. Thought I'd stop off at the lower lake and just have a little look, because I'm in two minds really. Nothing's happened on the main lake all day. Chatting to people and looking around, I don't think anything's been caught. So I'm in two minds whether to just stick it on the main lake or put a bit of bait on a spot. So find the spot, put a bit of bait out, just like hemp and corn. Leave it for a couple of hours to let the fish come in on it, and come on either the main lake or the match lake that's over there, and just give it a couple of hours surface fishing. I mean, they're coming up just down there, if you can see it, and there was one that came up just down there as well, so yeah, they're coming up and circling. So I think I could spend an hour or two on here and just nick one off the top, just 3-line bread, you know, simple, how I was catching them at Ashmore in a previous episode. Yeah, there's one down there going for it. So I'll probably get what I need, chuck me polarising glasses on, and come down here. I just wanted to have a look as I walk past so I can make up my mind. Right, I'll get back to you. So I couldn't resist it. Came back from the car, put some bait out on that spot, and grabbed my surface stuff and came down here. I bought it just in case anyway, because I thought it might be a good chance. I had a session up here last year after some exams I had, and the main lake was dead, and I basically just spent the rest of that day surface fishing on here. So I got my polarising glasses on, and I'll have a look around, feed up a couple of spots, see where the fish are. So that's first port of call, we'll get on that. So my kit, you know, simple stuff, standard. Surface rod, it's my 12-foot one, bringing my 12-foot carp rods today, I brought that along. Net, little bucket that's got some bait in it, I've got bread and dog biscuits, catapult, bits of tackle, scissors, line, all of that. And then the mat, different mat to what I usually use. I would usually take my little roving one that I use in most of my videos, but that's the one that we take sort of big carp fishing. So I'll feed up a couple of spots, see where the fish are. There's a couple coming up and rolling, so I think I know sort of where to start. See if I can't have one. Just doing this through the lens of the polarising glasses. There's a ghostie just sat there. I'm gonna get a lump of bread and just put it on his head and see if we can't catch him. Oh, he's still there. So we've got a bit of bread flake. I'm just going to lower it onto his head. Hopefully you'll be able to see if anything happens. So I've got to find out which way he's facing just so I can drop it on his head. I think he'll be going that way. Wait for him to turn. Right, he'll be there. Yeah, he's come the other way, I've got to hide now. I'm just going to put it in this big open gap. There's a bit of bread just floating down in front of him. A couple of little fish went for it. I'm going to stand the other way and just put it just up on the surface. Have the hook going the other way, stand back. And just leave it there. I'm going to hide behind these bushes just so he doesn't see me when he comes up and round. It's just going to move that back there. There we go. Mend the line, keep the rod out of the way, hiding it with the lily pads. Little fish came up and nibbled it, so it moves. There we go. He's underneath it. I think he's having a look. Thinking about it. I can see him underneath it. Yeah, he's coming up, he's coming up, he's coming up, he's coming up. He just turned away from it at the last minute. Just keep it there, keep calm, keep still. Because if you move it, he knows it's not normal. So he's come up for a look. He'll probably circle around and come up again. It's nice and still, just like that. All it is a big bit of bread flake from some bread from Morrison's that was going out of date, so I was allowed to take it fishing. And a Nash Fang Uni size 5. Now that sounds a big hook, but once they're slurping them down, you've really got to have a big hook just to set it. Usually I'd use a size 8, but this fish does look a nice size, so I wasn't scared to go to a size 5. And I have used them in the past, that size. So it's just sat at these lily pads just down here at the moment. So we'll keep it still. He's turned back round, he's going to come up and have another look at it. Right, it's just swum through this little gap bit where my rod tip is now. Don't want it around there. All I'm doing at the moment, I'm just crouched down behind these bits of grass. Oh, someone's left a bit of bread. It's good for me, gives me some more bait. Can't see him at the moment. I'm just going to stand up and just see if I can see where he's gone. Yeah, he's just same place. There are 2 carp. There's a nice dark one, and then you've got the sort of goldeny one that we're looking at just to his left. So there's 2 carp at the moment. Yeah, he's underneath it, he's having a look, he's having a look. Leave it there while they swim around the pads. So I'm in the swim, 2 down from where I was before, and just saw a fish come up and take, so I put some bait on its head, and yeah, it's taken, so I'm going to grab my stuff and get ready. So I'll try and be quick with putting the nooblet on. That is spot on. That fish is still in the area. It's just come up there. Slowly creep down. Dab it in the water just to give me a bit more casting distance. I can see that fish just under the surface. There's 2 of them. So I'm just going to flick it out in their direction. That is right near one of them. So hopefully that commotion really got their interest. Yeah, he's right near it. Heart in the mouth kind of stuff, you know. Really tense, really exciting way of fishing. Just going to slowly reel it back because that fish is just off. There we go, that's better. So it's just into where those 2 fish are now. That is just swirled under one of it. There's one just near it. One to the left, one's taking it, but he put it on his nose. One's got it. Yes! Hadn't set the clutch properly. Oh, he's fighting. Ooh, pinged off his fin. Oh, he's going for it. He's only a little one. Just playing him gently on this 8-pound line. He's a small fish, but he has got the ability to ping it off on something. There we go. Just trying to get his head up. There you go, he's coming. And we've got him.
got weird fins. Let's come out in a minute. How's it? Oh, okay, yeah. Marvellous, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
That's why it's good sometimes just leaving him in the net so he blows it out. No, I've got to find the hook first. Don't read it. Oh, I've got my video. Yeah. So he's only a little one, but he got a great fight, and it's off the surface, and that's my favourite way of catching him. There's a lot of bubbling on my spots right now on the main lake over there, so I'll pack my stuff up and get round there. See you there.
So just settling in for the night now. Little fish are rolling everywhere, but no carp shows yet. I've got one of my rods just on that spot off the island again. It's a little bit further to the left and there's a carp just rolled on it. So there's carp in that area. I'm always tempted for a recast because originally I found that gravel patch. But it took me about 3 casts to get nearest to it. I'm still not convinced that I'm on it. So I'll probably give it another half an hour. Now that I've just seen that fish, I'll have a bit of food and then I'll recast both rods. I'll put some bait out. There's a little spot out just over here. Just like a couple of spods of hemp, sweet corn, and then a few boilies scattered over the top of it. And I've just got a short yellow pop-up because it's quite silty out there. But out of the silty spots, that's the least claggy. Like the lead came back quite smooth, whereas before it was sort of pulling quite a lot. So that looks good for the night. Some cloud cover, so it shouldn't get as cold as it has been. It's been frost in the morning, but no, so hopefully the weather stays like it is at the moment, just clear, not too cold. And hopefully these alarms will go off through the night and we'll have some fish to show you. Rods are out, settled down for the night now, and yeah, it's gone flat calm. The wind's really dropped off. There's about a 2 mile-an-hour wind is what I've seen on my weather app, so southwesterly. Doesn't really mean a lot when it's that weak though. So I've got my rods on my spots, and yeah, hopefully my alarms go, you know. Hopefully fish come along and they're presented nicely, and yeah, we're on for a good one. So I've got one rod out on a slightly baited patch with just my version of like the hinge multi-rig. which I'll do a rig time video of soon, so you can see one of my sort of favourite rigs. And that's just got a little, it's a 15mm gooed up pineapple instant action Nash pop up or whatever. I've caught on that before, so something bright over a little patch of sweet corn and hemp should do the business. And then the other one's on a crab wafter, which I've caught quite well on before. Always seems to almost catch out the bigger fish, is what I found. So yeah, that's on an IQD rig on a sort of firm patch right near the island. So I think we're fishing well, and yeah, hopefully something comes. And if it does, we'll get it on photo or video and we'll chuck it on. If not, I shall see you in the morning. Just had one, and yeah, it's £15.12. It's probably the biggest 15-pounder I've caught. It looked a lot bigger. It's quite a short fish though, quite like stocky. So yeah, it fought really hard, and that was taken off of the baited patch. So the right hand rod, and that has the multi-hinge stiff rig that I told you about before, and the little gooed up pineapple pop-up. So yeah, it's good. My alarm didn't go off. I could just hear this ticking, and I woke up and I heard this ticking and dismissed it and went back to sleep, and then thought, no, I'll have a look. Looked out and I could just see the LED, but the buzzer wasn't going, so the transmitter wasn't linking with the receiver. So, and I turned the alarm heads right down. So yeah, we just had the ticking. It's proper old school. So I just put the rods both back out. My left hand rod had moved. So whether that was because the fish I had went through the line a bit, or something picked that up, I don't know. So what I've done is I've changed that rig just to a standard bottom bait braid rig, and put it out near the right hand rod. There's a bit of bait around, and if that's where the fish are, that's where the fish are. So we'll fish there, and hopefully we're in for another. Right, it's about 6:30 in the morning. It's been light for about 35 minutes. Nothing else happened after that fish. I've got a couple of liners, but whether they'd come in and cleared that bait out and then moved off, I don't really know. But as it was pitch black, I couldn't see the spot to spot out to it, so couldn't really top it up. So I'm just watching the water at the moment, watching the herons fly around and trying to see if any fish show. So we're here till about 10. So if anything, I'll leave the rods where they are for another half an hour, give them a recast, slowly pack down, and then if nothing happens, I might jump back on the lower lake and see if we can nick another one off the surface. I'll update you in a bit. So that's about 20 to 8 now, and yeah, more people turning up. Obviously it's Fridays, people are coming now and getting ready for the weekend. So I was tempted earlier to put some more bait out on that spot I've got just out, where am I? Just out here. But thinking that we've only got a couple of hours left anyway, I didn't think it was worth it, so I'm just putting little PVA bags on. So there'll be a little bit of bait in the area, but I'm not putting out a load of bait, wasting it and basically pre-baiting the area for someone else. So I've got 2 rods out. One of them is on that spot that I just showed you there, and the other one's not at the island like it was. It's actually off the island, probably about there. Lovely. Just come to the lower lake again, just have a little look around. I've actually bought all my surface stuff, but just down here there are a couple of, I think it's that koi from yesterday and then a ghosty with it, and I've been putting out bread, which you can see all over the surface, and as that's actually floating down, they're more taking it on the bottom and sort of mid-water. They don't really seem in the mood to come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep just putting bread in, almost pre-baiting it, and then on one of my rods that I've been using out on the bigger lake, I've got a little white pop-up. So I think that would work really nicely. It's quite nice and low to the lake bed, and with it being white it sort of matches the bread. So I think if they're not coming up on the surface, I don't know if you can see them down there, you can just see their tails moving every now and then. There's one just come up with it. So I might give it another 5-10 minutes feeding and sort of gauge their response. If they keep coming up like that one just did, I'll get my surface stuff. But if they're more readily taking it on the bottom, then I'll probably go back and get that little pop up and try and stalk one up the edge. So the fish that are down there at the moment, the majority of them are feeding on the bottom. They're quite hesitant to come up and take it off the top. So I've been squeezing the bread up, it's just over there, and just lightly feeding it in. So it's just slowly sinking down, sitting on the bottom, nice and bright white. So I've gone back to my swim, I picked up my rod that actually has a little white pop-up on. So what I've done is I've trimmed the sides off, just pinch bits off, and that now sits just like a little wafter over the top of this, and that's just 7 inches of just corder, semi-stiff braid, size 6 curve shank, and then a little bait screw holding that white pop-up on. So that imitates the bread, and yeah, hopefully that'll produce the bite for us. I'll feed that place just a little bit more, just to get the confidence up, and then I'll wait for them to slowly drift off the spot, put the bait down, and then hopefully in a matter of minutes it'll go off.
pre-baited with bread, little pop up, easy. End of the session. Yeah, 3 fish. That's not a bad result. It doesn't seem like the main lake many people have been having them, but I've certainly found a spot that I can bait up next time and hopefully get something off of, because it seemed like that fish really reacted to a little bit of bait that I put out, and it's always nice to catch them off the surface and stalk them out on that little lake. So I'm happy with that. Dad's had a pike, took one of his boilies, a bit weird, but yeah, I've had a good time. Don't know when I'll be fishing next, as always. With exams coming up, it'll be a little bit sporadic, but I've got videos for all of you, so there'll be constant uploads. So cheers for watching, and we'll see you soon.